go through what we did in class again today. The one thing to remember when solving systems of equations, particularly by graphing, is that you've done all of the steps to do it before. You've graphed lines. You know what the slope and the y-intercept are. You know how to find a solution to a system of equations. And you've seen places where we have one solution or no solutions or infinitely many solutions. So all we're doing is we're putting it together in a new way. Okay? Now, before we also get started, the other thing to think about is that in terms of the big question of the day of how do we do this, again, you've seen it before. One of the things that we talk about is like, what do these two roads have in common? Oh, they've got this section of road right there in common. It's where they intersect. What do the two circles have in common? Oh, it's this purple area right here. That's where they overlap. If you've been through driver's ed, here's your line, or here's a sign, not a line, Mr. Hayes. There's your sign for intersections. An intersection's coming up. Okay, that's all we're looking for, is where are the two graphs intersecting, and what are the coordinates at that point. So just as a reminder, system of equations are two or more lines in the same graph or situation. This would be an example of two equations together that you could graph and look for the intersection of. The example that we did in class about you and your friend going to Spain, it's a situation that you can find when are you guys having a common point. The solution is always going to be the place where the two graphs intersect. The answer is always written as an ordered pair. So make sure you have x comma y. All right? So let's take a look at a couple. So if I ask you, let me zoom out just a touch, my apologies. So if I ask you where these two lines intersect, the blue and the red line on this one on the left intersects right here. Okay? So the question is, what are the coordinates at that point? The solution is, so I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, up 2. So your solution is going to be 3, 2. Remember, x always comes first. And that's it. So if I'm asking for the solution to this one, you're going to look for the common point right there. Ooh, what's the coordinates of that point? That point is both on the red line and on the blue line. And it's hard to read, but it's actually purple for a reason. So that one would have the solution of, let's see, I'm going to go -1 and then up 3. So -1, 3 of the coordinates of that point. And that's what we're doing. You're looking for the places that have a common overlap between the two graphs. If I ask you to go ahead and graph this, if I give you a system of equations like this, you could say, oh, well, but Mr. Hayes, I didn't get the graph. Well, guess what? You can graph it yourself. This is my y-intercept. Okay, remember, we've got y equals mx plus b, right? So that means my y-intercept on this point up here, and so, oh, by the way, sometimes you'll see brackets here when you've got a system of equations, sometimes you won't. So I have that in there just in case you happen to see it on a test somewhere, ACT test. Here's my slope, change of y over change of x, so that means I'm going to go down 1. It's a negative slope, so I know it's going to go down this general direction, so I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 4. There's right there. I'm going to down 1 to the right 4. There's 1 there. I can go back and go this direction. So I got this nice little line, and then I'm going to draw the line. I know, it's a shock. Don't worry, I'll adjust it. Or maybe I'll just move the graph. All right, so we got that. We'll make it red so it's pretty. There we go, boom. Then for the second one over here, we're going to do this one in blue, just because. Consistency. Y-intercept here is -3, so I'm going to go down here on the y-axis to -3. Then we go up 3 into the right 4, because that's my slope here. And up 3 to the right 4. Hey, look, I already found my intersection. Now, sometimes people ask, hey, do I really need to draw the line then? Yes, you do. You know, it's just one of those things that makes A, your math teacher happy, and B, it just actually makes you a better person. Honestly. So there's that, and we'll change the color to blue. And so then your intersection point is going to be right here. Okay, it's right there. So that point would be over 5, 6, 7, 8, up 3. So it's going to be 8. So best way to describe these lines, they are intersecting. Okay. So that should give you enough background to hopefully help you with today's assignment. We're going to practice